All right, so let's do this. We got a couple of listener questions from last week's episode. Thank you guys very much for submitting. Actually, the first question that I saw here was from Swarley on YouTube. He asked, what are the top mythic weapons and their roles that should be looking for? And so he asked for a tier list. I was like, I don't think that's going to work that well as a tier list. But what I was kind of considering is there a world where you could kind of break down for us? We could go like character by character, and we know that some archetypes share, mythic and exotic weapon pairings or things of this sort, such as Kabir and Estella, both using, pulse and a machine gun, things of this sort. Could we talk about and take a few minutes to discuss what those pairings look like? And then if there's mythic weapons that kind of stand out above the rest, what would you actually be looking at for, from a perk combination standpoint?
Yeah. Is there any character that you wanted to start with?
Maybe we can start. Let's start with Gwen. Let's talk Gwen here.
I'd say the most obvious combo is Concerto and then.
And yes, you did hear that right, folks. Asterisk does know it is a CH sound. Okay, so you said Concerto and then Eternal Retribution?
Yes, I'd say that's the most general use combo.
Okay.
So then going into Retribution, it's actually probably the most diverse mythic weapon, I'd say.
Okay.
For your general run-of-the-mill, just everyday use, conjunction or line formation, and I guess that'd be like the second column.
Okay.
The perk one. We'll call it perk one.
Sure.
And then karmic reward, without a doubt, in perk 2.
Perfect.
It really depends if you want to go for total DPS or total damage, then you want conjunction, but raw DPS, like just as high as you can get it, then you're going to want line formation.
Okay, so line formation says when all rounds in a single trigger pull hit the same target, the next shot's shooting interval is shortened by 25%. This weapon gains plus 30 reload speed for 3 seconds. Then perk upgrade when all pellets hit the same target 3 times in a row. 1 round will be automatically reloaded from reserves. Let me ask you this. The perk upgrade, how does that occur?
So if you go to like your mods,
okay,
you need to then get an exotic magazine mod.
Okay.
And then that exotic magazine mod needs to then roll with the perk upgrade for line formation.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's a very much like an end game grind.
Okay. So I have exotic mod choice 1. So this is me doing a live gamba here. Okay. So this is for, you said this is for a magazine. Is this right?
Yes.
Okay. So magazine, let me actually make sure so on this roll, I have conjugation and I do not have karmic reward on the final. So is this worthless? Like, can I move this mod afterwards if I got the proper Godroll?
Oh, yeah. So the mods transfer between all guns of the same name.
Sick. Okay.
So.
Cool. Okay, so conjugation here. And then.
It's automatically highlighted the one that you did the source for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, let's do it.
And then, you got dual loader for the perk upgrade.
Come on, bro. Come on. So let me ask you this. So you just see this here at the bottom. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. All right, so I have an exotic mod for dual loader, and then I could use that. So just to break that down one more time to make it clear as day. So we said either conjugation. Did you say conjugation is a total damage?
Yeah, so that's for like total damage because it's a perk 1 that increases your damage overall. And
then line formation fell more into a burst damage situation?
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. And then karmic reward by far in the final there. Hitting the same target 2 times in a row. Absolutely. Grants the rest of the magazine 60% damage bonus. And then the perk upgrade hitting the same target twice in a row. Grants the rest of the magazine plus 25 rate of fire. Okay, that's sick. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. Okay. Anything to take into consideration for mythics in the front slot if you wanted to use Octane Riot Dispenser?
So this one I am not set on it myself.
Okay.
But I would think Fraternity Glutton.
Okay.
It's either Glutton or Black Body in perk 2.
Okay. I find it interesting that Fraternity works in solo ops.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice.
Someone told me that, but yeah. So if you don't know what Fraternity is this weapon deals 28% extra damage when all fire team members are alive. So if you're alive and you're in a solo game, good on you there. And then this weapon gains plus 20 handling as the perk upgrade. That's a little less crazy there, but I've not felt crazy handling bumps, negatives or positives for that kind of thing in Destiny Rising compared to Destiny 2. I definitely feel it over there. And then you said between either Black Body or Glutton on this side of things.
I don't think you're gonna go wrong with really either one of them.
Okay. So guys, I'm putting these up. I'm not gonna read every single one of them. You guys can pause the video if you want to see these. So, is Del 6 any kind of consideration there if you wanted?
I wouldn't really. Like, it's nice for like elemental coverage, but yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on from this here, and we'll probably go a little faster on some of these other ones here. So, Wolf, is there really another consideration here? I have a ton of Sworn Oaths.
No, it's Sworn Oath is the only mythic.
Is it really?
Right now, so yeah.
Okay. So we're in here. I have a bunch of double. I think maybe I don't have a bunch of them, but I have a bunch with Fraternity. I've liked this one a lot, this Fraternity target lock. I found that, I guess I have a couple copies, so I actually do really like it. So going in here, is there anything else that you're considering?
I'd say you actually have the Godroll, in my opinion. Firing Rush ensured yields.
Okay.
I will say, and this, I won't go into it for like every gun.
Sure.
But in content like Eclipse, where we were capped on power, target lock is very good. It's a very strong damage buff.
Okay.
It suffers in everything but capped light because it's intrinsically lower power than mythic perks.
I see. So just because it is a legendary perk, that brings it down. So we have power 350. Yeah, I mean, that's a huge bump up to 800 power. Okay, I need to find personally all the sources that do those little bumps like that. Like, that is huge, right? Like when I get in there and I get just one artifact mod up and it's like, oh, that's plus 10 power. It's like, okay, that did nothing to me, but that's a huge bump right there. The 450 extra power, that's good to know that would make such a difference on that front. So, okay, so you said Fire Rush, Injured Yields is a good combo there. So again, you can pause the video or take a look at these in game for yourself. Just a reminder, if you're inspecting the weapons, you can click. There's this little book icon that's next to the word traits in here, and you can see this. That's where I'm finding these trait pools here. So let's go down. I have Kabir up next. I can't take Furies off, but I just got Gallows as well. So I'd be interested to know what your various slot options are here.
So for Kabir, I actually only use Furies.
Okay.
But
same for me so far.
Both of the pulse rifles are actually very viable.
Okay.
For Kabir specifically, I would use Annihilation Glutton.
Okay.
And then for the Arc one, I would do Annihilation Ensured Yields.
Okay. So that's the second time we brought up Ensured Yields. Let me read this here because I don't know that I've done it. So final blows grant the next magazine 60% damage after reloading. If no final blows were made with the previous magazine, then reloading will grant up to 35% damage based on the number of hits landed. Okay, so you either get 35% or 60%, but if you can get a single final blow, that's pretty wild. And then Annihilation, this weapon deals increased damage based on how low the target's health is, up to 36%. So it's just like ramps up damage based on target's health dropping, essentially. And then that perk upgrade, weapon deals 20% more damage against targets with less than 33%. Okay, interesting. So you said Furies is typically on your character on that front. We have two mythic LMGs here. I'm looking at Scorched Earth first. I do see Annihilation on here as well. Are you taking that?
Yeah, Annihilation Clepsydra all the way.
Gotcha. So Clepsydra says grants increased damage based on the ratio of hits to precision hits made with the current magazine up to 75%. So is it saying that the more precision hits you are hitting, the higher that damage buff is going?
Yeah, so it'll ramp up as you get lower in the magazine if you're hitting all crits.
Got you. Okay. And then are you ever taking the arc there? I feel like you would only take the solar because you can cover arc with your kit.
I mean, it's all right. I don't think I'll ever have a use case for it anytime soon. But I would go really either between Fire Rush or Vorpal Weapon in perk 1 and then Syncopation in perk 4. Okay.
So let's go ahead and continue right along here. I have next Estella. I don't know if these are the same.
Well, it's the same weapons as Kabir, so.
Okay, so yeah, just laying in there, and then so we're gonna take the exact same loadouts there. All right, Tan is up next. I saw a video of someone soloing Issachus, and it looked like they were using the Del 3 Actually, it didn't even look like they were using Izanagi's. Is Izanagi's like sleeper not that good?
I mean, for solo nowadays, I actually don't really know.
Okay.
I haven't gotten there myself since launch.
Gotcha.
I actually haven't even gotten Izanagi's myself yet.
Really?
Been really unlucky. Yeah.
Sorry, I can take this off my screen so I don't upset you. No, but I saw someone using, it looked like they were using Del 3 for this. So do you have a preference for these slots? Like, what are you using if you use Tan?
So if I'm using the Del 3 Lassie, I am always using the Bear Approaches and Syncopation.
Okay. So Bear Approaches, I've not heard of this before. Landing 3 consecutive hits, grants 30% rate of fire, and shortens the next reload time by 20%. Perk upgrade, 1 round is returned for every 3 precision hits. Interesting. That's kind of similar to like a Polaris Lance in D2. I guess I don't know. I haven't got Polaris Lance. Does Polaris work basically the exact same way for like the returned ammo and stuff?
Yeah, it does.
Perfect
They
fit.
actually might have changed
Precision hits,
Yeah.
return ammo to the mag. Landing 4 gets a delayed explosive. That sounds almost identical. Nano inflammation. Each debuff on the target increases the damage taken. Interesting. That is something that is not on base.
not in D2.
Yeah, I've made plenty of D2 videos. Do you ever use total lockdown?
Oh yeah, no, I completely go in between Total Lockdown and Del 3 Lassie, just depending on the activity.
See, that's cool. Just to cover shields, I'm assuming. Just if there's void. Okay. That's interesting because there's been so many characters I feel like there's been a clear-cut choice, no matter even with the element. Are you looking here for the Annihilation allocation vector, or is there something different? Okay.
That's the one.
So we're doing the thumbs up on Tan here for both of the scout rifles. Okay, I have Yumiko up next. I'm assuming that's just that's the exact same kit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
A tall here. Okay, so this is a fully unique kit, and we're kind of getting into lower. Not to go back, not to shill out on our tier list, but you guys should go back and watch the last episode. Dude, I don't know if you saw when I broke out the tier list in the individual video, it hit 10K views on YouTube.
Yeah, I did.
So
see
people,
that,
people really, really, really like that video, man. So hoping that maybe this weapon portion here could do well as well, because I think a lot of people will be interested. Del 7 Simmet, is there anything that you can glean into for this weapon here?
I mean, it's a hand cannon. Unfortunately, it really struggles.
That's gonna heat some people up, bro. They're gonna.
I know, dude. I love hand cannons, but they are not good in Rising.
Yeah. What is your thought on Atal? Like, do you enjoy her?
Oh, I absolutely love playing Atal. She was probably one of my most played in the beta.
Interesting. It's just the state. I used her for pretty much the first time. I kind of leveled up. I used a linear. I actually didn't mind the linear too much. Like it definitely didn't hit, and it wasn't as snappy as the as sniper rifles. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I have Into the Line on here. I'm assuming that's really, or let me ask you this. If you were to play, I have Crimson. There's the old Prefect here as well as an option. Like, are there considerations to make here as far as exotics go? Are you going with not Queenbreaker, or what are you thinking on this front?
So I actually haven't had the chance to get Queenbreaker in either the beta or the alpha.
Gotcha.
So I can't comment on that.
Okay.
End of the line, I would be using either Firewing Line or Trinkladier in perk 1.
I'm glad you knew how to pronounce that, because, brother, I didn't. When I first looked at it. Okay.
And then Searing Mark in perk 2.
Dude, I don't know. Did we actually even break down hand cannon? I don't think we did. I see Annihilation, Insured Yields on here as well. Fraternity's on here. Is there anything to consider with either Misfortune's Confetti or Black Body in that second?
Misfortune's Confetti is actually kind of fun.
It almost gives like a Kvostov vibe, like with the ricochet rounds.
It's kind of like it's like ricochet rounds. But I would probably go for Black Body overall.
Gotcha.
You can run any 3 of them. It's as I said, it's a hand cannon. It's just gonna do hand cannon things.
Gotcha.
And then perk 1, I would actually probably run Fraternity.
Okay.
Just because at least hand cannons do chunk more, so I don't think you're going to get as much benefit on Annihilation as you would other weapons. Yeah. It's been a while since I've used them, so really, whatever you find fun.
That's fair. Yeah, I think that's very valid, and I think that's a good thing to put out there. Is like, hey guys, these are suggestions. Someone asks specifically about this. Use what you want to on that front, and go there, and you may enjoy. And let me know. Let us know in the comment section how terribly wrong I am about my opinions on what to run on these different things, or how right Asterix was. All right, let's move over to Ning Fei here. I don't know if you heard it. Floss had a hot conversation on Huckleberry last week. We were talking all about that, and so heated some people up. There's some people who were absolutely hot about the fact that we considered Huckleberry to not be S tier, absolute must use exotic. Where do you come down on old Huckleberry?
Okay, so I think Huckleberry would be good when you have it completely maxed.
Okay, catalyst
maybe not completely, but like at least like catalyst band 2.
Okay.
Where and only for Yolder, not for Ning. Only for Yolder.
Okay. So we're covering that. That's for Yolder there. Are you considering Risk Runner in any capacity for Ning?
Or Risk Runner on Ning is very good.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, like once you get that first catalyst slot, where just using an arc ability grants you arc conductor, it is very strong.
I see. Yep, casting an arc ability, perfect. Okay, so that is a good pull here. Floss felt very, very strongly with Delphi Kulfi, and he actually was talking about it very strongly for Yolder. That was our whole conversation last week. How do you feel in the realm of, like, would there be any different considerations between Ning Fei or Yolder with this kit in using Delphi?
No, I think they both want the same role as Annihilation Syncopation.
Okay, so I ended up with a Fraternity Glutton role, which actually felt pretty good. Yeah. But just, again, like you mentioned earlier, getting a mythic perk is better than legendary. Getting 2 is going to be better, for your overall power increase.
Yeah.
I mean, I learned, you guys heard that. If you've listened to this whole thing, I learned that in real time. So, and then I'm looking in here. I've heard that the Mayuri is like very good.
It is very strong. It does not care about like elemental shields. It'll rip through all of them.
Yeah, that's
it is. And it puts out good damage, like, by itself. Yeah, it is. It's a very strong weapon.
That's insane. I'm assuming we're going to try to use this, if at all possible.
Yeah.
For this. The Sizo here. Any thoughts on this if someone has not unlocked?
I don't know. I'm not set on a roll for Sizo yet. I've been playing around with both Fire and Rush and Trinkladier in the first column, perk 1, and then Glutton and perk 2.
Okay.
And I don't know. It was whatever. Like auto crossbows are in a decent spot, but it just doesn't compare to the Mahamiri.
So guys, we're leaning in more. I'm assuming more Del 5 instead of Wolfpack. But I guess I don't know. I don't know. I've not played too much with Wolfpack. Something to consider as well. But yeah, let's try that. If you're playing Ning, let's try to get that Mayuri for your exotic slot, and then let's use the Del 5 in that first slot. Okay, we're getting into we're at the very sorry for our Finala, Ikora, and Zwanwei enjoyers. Finala here, we're looking at just Sworn Oath here. I do have Sweet Business. I could throw Sweet Business on there for her as well. Where do you come down on Partridge Sky?
I really like Partridge Sky, but I understand that it can be lackluster when you haven't really invested into its exotics.
Okay.
Much like Huckleberry.
So Partridge came from like special event thing. How do you how would you get extra copies of it? Do you need extra copies of Partridge to be able to?
Yeah, so for like the Catalyst Band 1 and Catalyst Band 2, you would need extra copies. So you can get them from like the Synthesizing the Choice exotic weapon engram.
I gotcha. What's that? That's the 60 cost?
Starts at 40 and then
starts
goes
at
to
40?
60. I don't think they've put it in any other source.
Because that was my consideration on Furies as well. I was thinking that. I was trying to think through that lens. This is a more obvious statement here, but I'm just getting it out there. You do need to own them to be able to synthesize them directly. So you have to get them random rolled or get them through an event. And then there is a weekly synthesis that takes place or can take place for 80 cost for the exotics from the raid. And you can only do 3 a week. What's the best way of getting these exotic parts?
Oh man, unfortunately it is you are very limited as a free-to-play or light spender, and that's from the legendary campaign, like doing the weekly time challenges. And after, so like you're looking at heroic, that unfortunately is only a one time.
Okay.
You have to be going to challenge difficulty.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then you can knock these out here. So like can you do that? Do you need to spend pinnacle for them?
No pinnacle required.
Okay. Because I went in here and I did Gwen already this week challenge. Can I spam this?
No, so you'd need to do the other
Forgotten
missions.
Bounty and Revelations. Can you only do them one time though? Like
once a week, yeah.
Once per week. Okay. So I come in here, hit this here. Okay, so I see. So we're getting 4, and there's no common rewards option there for that. That's just I see. So we're hitting 16 total from this. And then I know that we get them from bounties as well. The bottom tier here. So we're getting a total of 20. Is that right? 2, 4, 6, 11 there. So that puts us where? That puts us
that one that you saw next to the 4.
Yep.
That's it's actually a different drop. You can either get so you either get 4 exotic parameters or you get I think it's a choice exotic engram.
Interesting. Okay, because that interesting. Okay, so you could, and that's just a random chance at either getting. I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, that is, make sure you're doing your bounties here if you want to get these, because you can get these as well. And then finally, so if someone is really, really hurting for, are there any that you're like, hey, if you're trying to invest, so like, look, I got Crimson, I got Jotun, I got Two-Tailed Fox. Like, are these ones that you say like, hey, you could probably safely get rid of these and circle back to them? Or do you think every exotic is like, okay, this is sacred, I need to hold on to it?
I mean, so there is like Two-Tailed Fox that you mentioned. It's kind of whatever. The problem is they only give you 5 parameters when you dismantle.
Okay.
And so in my eyes, it's basically never worth it.
Like Huckleberry, we talked about that, needing to work towards getting that fully maxed out. What are the other ones that highly, highly benefit from getting further up in these catalyst bands?
The Sentinel Knee Smart Bond that Wolf uses.
Yep.
That is a very good one.
Okay.
Like if you look at Catalyst Band 2 for it, it increases the charge time. Oh, sorry, Catalyst Band 1, not 2. It increases the charge time and the blast damage. So like that is a very big one.
Yeah.
Seeing if I can think of any others off the top of my head. Concerto, upgrading that to like Catalyst Band 2 increases the damage bonus.
Okay.
For not Concerto itself, but also when you transfer the stacks to your shotgun.
Gotcha. Interesting. So the cadenza stacks get buffed up on that. Okay. Let's circle back real quick. Unless you have anything else on exotic weapons, let's talk about Ikora and Zomway.
All right. I don't know how much to talk about with them, but.
So, okay, we got Present Fleet. It looks like that's the only one here. Guys, I'm going to click through some of these. Do you have any thoughts on
Fleet?
I'm sure you have real strong opinions on this one.
Oh, yeah, the one that I've totally used a lot.
Again, we're going to heat people up, bro. I know. And to be fair,
You've never used them. Why are you giving opinions?
Yeah,
it's like, well, that's them enough.
Yeah, because a man on the internet asked me my opinion, bro. That's what, yeah. Because I have a mic in front of me and my opinion's valid. No, just kidding. So guys, I've clicked through here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let you, so we can avoid, we're going to dodge people saying, why are you even saying this? Guys, I'm clicking through all the perks here for you. I'm flipping through. You guys can pause it if you want to, or you can check out in your game if you want to see what you think the best is. We've already kind of established that there is some validity to the thumbs up on these here. So we have Annihilation, Polyploidy here. Polyploidy, projectile blast always deal 75% blast damage when one target is hit and 30% when 2 or more hit. So if you're doing that direct impact damage to individual weapon or enemy, it sounds like that would be good. Rockets here, we do have Two-Tail, but then we also have the Han 2. I'm not trying to say that last word, so you guys can go ahead and do that yourself here. And just take a look here. I'll click through these real quick for you, and you guys can pause it if you would like to. And check out perk 1, perk 2 columns for this. And then I'm going to do the same thing here for Zwanwei, unless, Asterisk, you have any specific thoughts on the mythics. Okay. So, guys, you can see, I've not spent any time here, so I'm not going to act as if I'm any kind of expert for the fusion here, but we got Parantha in the first column, or I'm sorry, for the first slot here. Surrounded, Solidarity, Annihilation, and then in perk 2 we have Black Body, Glutton, and then Ensured Yields. It's interesting to see that they've made these mythic perks. There's so many mythic perks that work across the different
weapon archetypes.
Yeah. It kind of seems like they would be a little more, because they do that in D2 a lot. With you got like 1-2 punch, that's not something that would be across everything, but it's almost like they've figured that out. I do have one more shotgun here that I guess I didn't see. Yeah. Is there any consideration there, or are you saying if you're choosing to use an arc or an arc or shotgun, we're going to try to use Octane?
I mean, it's all right. It's again kind of just arc coverage, but I think you would probably be using Octant if you really need that. But if you were to go for it, I would go Spinosaurus shots and Lash.
Yeah, and I realize I've just been saying Octane instead of Octant. So if you guys made it to the end, you've realized that I said the wrong thing, but anyone who stopped watching earlier will be frustrated with that. Cracking reaction. So you said Spinosaurus, and what was the last one? Lash. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, so clicking through the rest of these. I skipped over Yolder earlier. We kind of talked about it. Do you think from a legendary sword perspective, is there anything that plays into? We talked Partridge Sky.
Flaws went over it a little bit last week.
He did.
All three of the swords are they're all right. Well, they're all right or better. I'd say the Void one is the best one.
Okay. And that's kind of what Flaws had talked about. Yeah, the Cackleic last week. Yeah. I think he even gave that last week. So, guys, what I'll do is I'll go back and I will highlight what he called out. I think it might have been Annihilation Dismemberment. But, guys, you can go through here again. You're clicking through these. And then we already talked about, the different SMGs, getting them ranked up. Huckleberry being a great pick for Yolder when maxed out. So, if you have the ability to do that, but if you don't and you want to play into being able to run Del 5 Kulfi, go in there. And then we talked about that last week as well. I believe the conversation, Annihilation, Syncopation, what Asterix said, but then there was some talk about Fraternity and Glut being pretty good on there. So